Hey, what's up everybody? I just uploaded a video. This is going to be the shorter version and more oriented towards theta because a lot of interesting things are happening here, especially, just look at this. We bounced right off the bull market support band. That's one really awesome thing that happened. I talked about that yesterday. I even tweeted it out that I bought the dip. Every time it comes down in here, right? This is technically a good spot to dollar cost average, right? Not financial advice. Obviously, the price could keep going down, but the fact that we had 6 red candles in a row, and we're on the bull market support band, I thought a good bounce should come, and we got a nice bullish daily engulfing candle. I would like to see a little more of a base get held in here, some more sideways action, and then a continuation to the upside. But what I really wanted to talk about is this right here, which is number one. Look at this. We broke above the downward resistance line, right? And now we came all the way back down, and now we're back testing it, or I should say retesting it, because we did so over here. So not only did we break above the downward resistance line, but we also back tested it, and we back tested the bull market support band, and we had on the smaller time frames, look at this, we had 1 2 3 4 5 A B C. So we had an ABC off the trend line, off the bull market support band. That's pretty good. That's what you want to see. So let's see if we can get some momentum out of here. Now, what else could qualify us to get that momentum? Well, check this out. Because to me, it's starting to look like Wyckoff accumulation. So look at this. This is looking really good for Wyckoff here. So let me put that back up here. So look at this. Right off the bat, we have, obviously we're in this uptrend. We have this ABC pullback. We bounced off the bull market support band, and now we're building this big base in here on the support band. So, we have, when you look at Wyckoff, it's something similar. It's you're building a base, right? So we have this 3-wave move to the upside, right? 3-wave move to the upside. Then we come all the way back down. We come all the way back down. Then we work our way back up, right, to that resistance line. Same thing here. We had this 3-wave move back up to the resistance line. Then here's the really interesting part. We start to, cup in here this sort of, the spring pattern, but, it's more like, this sort of reaccumulation, I guess you can say. Because really, Wyckoff is rise, crash, retrace, right? You have a rise, you have a crash, you have a retrace, you come down for reaccumulation, you go sideways. So same thing here. You have a rise, crash, you go up for a retracement, you come back down, and now you go sideways, right? So what I want to see here is just like how this cupped up in here, I want to see it starting to, form a bottom, maybe go sideways a little bit, but ultimately I want to see it curl back up, right? I want to see it break out, and then a playing around in here, just like how this did right here. You can see how it plays around a little bit. It, first of all, it breaks these two resistance line, and then it back tests, and then we continue working our way up. So that would be the main idea. Contingent on Bitcoin, staying bullish and breaking out, really. So that would be the main idea for theta. There's a lot of confluence in here, right? We got the ABC pullback, we have the base, we have the Wyckoff look, right? So and then when you come down over here, we also are in a wave 4, right? When you zoom out, you have 1 2 3. This is wave 4, right? You can see here we back tested the bull market support band, built a base, Same thing here. But yeah, we just need the rest of the market to sort of pull through. I mean, theta on, is basically is showing up to the party. Now everybody else has to show up as well. So it's got all the right requirements for it to start rounding out and fulfilling this sort of Wyckoff pattern here. So yeah, that's about it here on theta. So let me take that off, and let me just do this real quick. If I put this on the, let's go to the 2-day chart real quick. There we go. So we bounced off, right? We broke above the downward resistance line, so now we want to see it curl in here, right? And then ultimately break this top and then work through these retracement levels. So we got our work cut out for us, but I think we're on the right track here. So yeah, it's looking really, really good. So please like this video and drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Now I'm going to zoom out and talk about the bigger picture here. So the bigger picture, right, is actually also a Wyckoff pattern. So here's our Wyckoff pattern right here. We actually broke out, right, and this is where we started talking about the retracement, is back over here. You can go back and check out the videos back here in mid to late October, I guess, and been talking about theta looking really good for the possibility of a retracement. So somewhere up in here. Now the thing is, total 3 has already made it to its retracement. So when you look at total 3, it's already in its retracement, right? So we got that part, but theta is still a little bit down in here, right? So it still needs a little bit more to go. But if this starts turning around and gets rejected by the retracement and goes into reaccumulation, it's going to be very hard for theta to do that. But at the end of the day, if it comes back down, right, if theta comes back down to back test, right, it would actually be very bullish, because then what we would have is a 1 2 1 2. We would back test all of this in here, which would really amplify the move to the upside, right, to get a big wave 3 and maybe even higher than that, right? So that's what I would look for if we did come back down. But other than that, I mean, there's no reason to think that until we break support. So far, we're doing really well. So if I extend that out a little bit, we actually did back test this high here. So we had a Wyckoff accumulation. We came down here. It was a liquidity grab. We had this move up, and now we're sort of playing around here at the all-time high, right? Or I'm sorry, not the all-time high, but the swing high here, right? Back tested it there. And so when we look at it from a Wyckoff perspective, it would appear that we're somewhere where that green circle is, right? So you can see, the price coming down here. It takes out the low, it comes back up, and now we're kind of playing around in here before that next wave up. So that's how I'm looking at it. Some kind of, consolidation, back test above this range. So yeah, it looks really, really good. Okay, now let's talk about targets. I got a few requests to talk about theta targets. I have talked about them in the past, but let's say, considering all the facts that we break out and we get going here, let's talk targets. I'm just going to mention them briefly. I'm not going to go so much into detail. We'll talk more about exit strategy when the time is right. But now let's jump into some targets here. By the way, look at the 2-week chart. the candle just started, and it's already looking pretty good here, right? This is our, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We had 6 2-week candles in a row. 6 red 2-week candles in a row. That's pretty big. So you would imagine this 2-week candle should hopefully be green, you would think, right? I don't know if we've ever gotten that many candles in a row without flipping green. But anyway, it's looking really bullish when you look at it right here. Look at all those 2-week wicks off the bull market support band. It's basically just developing a launch pad here. That's what it looks like to me, right? If I had to guess, I would say we break to the upside. It looks pretty bullish. So let's talk targets here. So the first target, obviously, we have to get through the retracement level, right? So there's a couple ways we can measure targets. I'm going to do it the traditional way first. By the way, hit the like. It's going to be a shorter video. So I'm trying to, reach more viewers and to expand more of the, I guess you could say, the theta community, right? So, out there in YouTube, theta is, so-so, but I think the theta community should be a lot bigger, especially out in YouTube. And by liking theta videos, help spread the word for this magnificent asset and this magnificent chart. Look at this thing. This thing went so, much higher than a lot of these other altcoins. From the COVID low up to the all-time high. Tell me what wave, with one wave, went up almost 50,000% on one wave. This is no joke. This is a big boy here. So if that's, if that was 50,000% on this, it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're either in wave 3 or wave 5. I'm not sure what went on prior to this price action, but it kind of looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Unless this whole thing is 1, 2, 3, right? Then we're on the third wave. But either way, I think it's going to be a pretty big wave. But we got to get to the retracement level. So I'm going to put the retracement on here. There we go. And you can see we're not even near even the 50%, right? So my main target here is to get through the retracement levels. Is really, that's why I said I'm not in a hurry to do it, because we're so far below the retracement. I really want to see how it moves up first before we really get more accurate targets. But long story short, we really want to get into the golden zone between $8 and $10. So that would be target number 1, to see how the price reacts. What does the wave structure look like? How did it get there? What is Bitcoin doing? What is the rest of the market doing? What's the environment like when we get there? If everything is good, then we set our sights even higher, right? Getting above really the 786 and the all-time high. So that would be between $12 and $13. So first target would be about $8, right? And this doesn't mean selling. Like, this doesn't mean a selling target. It just means a retracement target. Personally, I'm not going to sell any of my theta until we break all-time highs. That's just me, right? A lot of people like to take profits here. And for my trades, I most likely will. But for hodling investing, there's no point. I think, even if we had to come back down into reaccumulation, I'm fine with that. So the second target, above the all-time high, right? So now we've already broken above the all-time high. So now I'm targeting the 1618. And that comes in at $26, $27. So right about there. So that would be my first target that I would consider selling some theta, right? So from where we are now, and this is not even where we accumulated, but just from where we are now, ballpark, that would be over 1,000%. So about 1,100%. So that, I mean, that's pretty significant, right? So yeah, that would be the target for Theta, about $26, $27. That's 1,1200% away. So that's still very, very good. Right now, just to compare that to like XRP, if I were to get to the 1618, that's only about 900%. Right, so it's a little less. It's around in the same ballpark, but a little less. Now the 4.236 is really what I'm targeting for XRP. I have and that comes in about 2,500% from where we are now. So, that's XRP. So, I'm doing that just to give you an idea of the differences between one asset and another one. So let me go back to Theta here. Okay, so the second target, or actually, yeah, the second target above the all-time high. So these are the two retracement targets. And the first target above the all-time high would be about $26, $27. Now, the third target, I would target between $35 and $42, right? Or actually, $36, $41. So really that 2618, about 40, 41, $42 would be a good target there. So now so the all-time high is about $16.50, right? So from there, you're looking at about a $25 increase. So that's already, double the all-time high. So if the all-time high is 16.5, then about $32 would be a double from that. And that would be also a good place to take a little bit of profit. But, again, it's going to come down to how the waves are shaping out, what the waves look like, what wave we're in, the structure of it. And there's going to be we're going to get more accurate targets as time goes on. But these are just ballpark based off where we are now. So just understand that. So yeah, that would be $41, $42 would be that mid-tier target. So we have a low tier, a mid tier, and then the upper tier. The upper tier is going to be about $63. So the 4.236 comes in around $67 actually. So I would say between $60 and $65 to be on the safe side. So my all-time high target would be about that $65 mark. And that would be that would be huge, because first of all, from where we are now, that would be let's see, or actually from the all-time high, that would be approximately, from the all-time high, you're only looking at 300%. Up to 315%. So it's not that much from the all-time high, right? You're only looking at basically all the percentage gains you're going to get is actually from now to the all-time high. So think about that for a second. So most of the gains that you're going to get is not from us breaking the all-time high. It's us getting to the all-time high. That's what people have to understand, because just getting to the all-time high, that's about 680%. Now to get up to that 4.236, around $64, you're looking at about 3,000%. So what I want to see from Theta is about a 3,000% move on the high end. That would be an amazing target to have. That would be one of the best looking things. Because Ethereum did it. A lot of coins reach their full 4.236 Fibonacci extensions. So there you go. $8 to $10. Then we have, 12 to $16, and then about $25 to $30, $36 to $41, and about $65, $64. That's a pretty big ask. I mean, you even got that $50 round psychological number. So, but again, we're going to know more accurate targets as time goes on. But I would imagine somewhere in that $50, $60 area would be probably the all-time high. So that would be the targets. There's another way I can do it. If I did this on linear, or actually log scale, targets are going to be much bigger. You're looking at $126 for the all-time high. Now, I'm not saying it's going to get there. I don't even know if it can, but I would imagine more like $100, right? I mean, do I think $100 theta is coming? Yes. I believe theta will ultimately hit $100. Is it going to happen this cycle? It's a big ask. I mean, it's certainly possible. But again, we're very, very early. We're not even in the retracement levels yet, right? So it's still hard to know. So if I put this on, I mean, we're not even at the 236 yet. So to say that we're gonna hit $100 is still very early. But based on the fundamentals and the utility, absolutely. There's also this way, a trend-based fib extension, where I take it from the bottom of this wave all the way to the top, and then back all the way back down to the bottom here. So it's pretty similar. We have that $26, $27 at the 1618. The 4.236 is actually a little higher, almost $70. So, a $70 theta, I mean, it definitely is possible to hit. The market cap would be pretty significant, but then again, $5 trillion market cap by the end of the year or even into next year is certainly possible. So we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. Not for theta, but for the whole market, 5 trillion. So, that's one way to do it. But yeah, it's $27. The 2618 at $43, and then $59 or $59 to $69. But I got a feeling we're gonna probably run into some resistance around that $40 mark, that $40 to $50 mark. If I had to guess, I would say that between 40 and 50 is probably going to be tough to get through. So yeah, that's that. And so let's zoom in. Now we can get some more accurate targets when we zoom in here. So if I go to the daily chart, and let me show you here. So let's see where this got to. So if I take this extension from all the way to the top, right, and then back down, you can see we almost hit the 3618. Just came shy of it, the 3618. Now, since this was an A, B, C, and a flat, you can actually move it down to about there, and we actually exceeded the 4.236, right? So between that area. So if we do the same thing here, check this out. So I'm going to take it from the bottom of the wave all the way to the top of the wave, and then all the way back down to the bottom of the wave. So our target then becomes the minimum target would be between $5 and $6, really. So you can see that 1-to-1 extension which I very firmly believe will hit that, is at $4.65. And then the 1618 comes in at $6.46. So right in there. So there you go. I mean, I would say that $6 to $6.50 mark from this wave is the next target. So this is more of an up close target, right? So yeah, so based off this wave we just had, the balancing of the bull market support band, if we break out, that first target is going to be about that $6 to $6.50 area. Now this wave hit the 3618. So that would actually come in at $12. I don't know if we're going to get that high because we definitely have some resistance over here. But let's see. Let me see if I can match something up here. Okay, so 31. There we go. Yeah, so I would more say around that $8 to $10 mark. So the first target from this trend-based fib extension would be that 6 to 6.5, and then up from there it would be that $8 to $10 mark. So that's a different way you can do it. So if you average all of that out, I would say about between $8 and $9. Really about $8, $8.50. So if you average this and this out, you'd probably get about 8.5 if you wanted to get an average. So there you go. That's the target there. Another way you can do it is just by a regular fib extension here. So I'll just take it from here all the way down to here, and we're looking at $5 for the 1618. Then that matches up, about $5 to $6. So there you go, $5 for the 1618. And the 2618 comes in about $7. The 3.414 is also pretty substantial there. That comes in about $8.73. So yeah, I would really say between that $5 and $8 mark is probably where we're headed next. And as this wave moves up, we'll get more, we'll get better targets based off trend based, right? So if we have a nice 5-wave move or even a 3-wave move, I can pull the extensions on that to get a more accurate target, from wave to wave. If you like this update, please hit the like button. I'm going to do a theta fuel target video as well, so stay tuned for that. Make sure you subscribe, and I'm going to get that out soon. So yeah, anyways, that's the targets there. And then real quick, I wanted to show you guys this fractal from here, and then there's also one over here that looked pretty interesting. So here you go. When I match it up with the current price action, it actually looks pretty good, and it's also that initial wave that kicked off the bull run. So this is also that initial wave that hopefully kicks off the bull run, right? So yeah, so everything we just talked about, as far as the bull market support band, the Wyckoff accumulation, the break of the downward resistance line, the 55% correction, the ABC, the building of the base, and now we have the fractal. So, theta is firing on all cylinders. We just need theta or Bitcoin to show up. Yeah, so I really like this fractal. I mean, you can see this move here, right? And then we come back up, hit the high, come back, hit the high, and then we kind of round out here, just like the Wyckoff, round out here. So you have two confluences there. We also have this fractal here. I don't like it as much, but we'll keep following both of them. But yeah, there you go. There's both fractals. I definitely like the first one better, but both of them are pointing to more upside. Alright guys, that'll do it for this video. If you want to, it would be amazing if you can hit that like button and share it. If you know anybody interested in the Theta community that wants to see. And yeah, if you want to support the channel, you can always do so through the through the YouTube tip jar. And remember, not financial advice. And I will catch you guys on the next one. Cheers. And by the way, drop a comment and let me know what you think Theta is going. Do you have an idea? Do you have a specific target? I'd love to know your thoughts. Cheers.